Well, this is gonna make recording a little bit interesting. Oh my, he's literally going to be right in front of me. I think I might go into another room for a minute. Well, that was an interesting way to start the day. So we just had a whole bunch of people come and clean our gutters, which didn't take too long, but it's just amazing how every time I get perfectly set up and we are good to go for recording, then something like that happens. Like my neighbor will start working on redoing his sidewalk with a jackhammer, or my other neighbor will start power washing her deck. And I mean, you know, we're pretty laid back around here about the background sounds, since I clearly leave my birds in the background of all of the videos we make. But there needs to be a line drawn, and looking eye to eye with a man on my second story as he's like reaching up with one hand and plucking leaves from a gutter and just staring at me while I'm trying to talk about horses and Horsehaven. That's kind of where my line is. But hi everybody! So I have no idea when you guys are going to see this, because we just got back from our Michigan trip today, or yesterday actually. My days are beginning to blur together because that was really awesome. But as usual, when you're on the road for like 5 hours a day driving, it's a little tiring. So I'm still trying to catch up with myself, and I did come home with a little bit of an earache. You guys know, with my immune system being as bad as it is, choosing to travel means that I accept that I'm going to get sick. And thankfully this one doesn't seem to be too terrible. As long as I leave my headphone while I'm recording out of one ear, hopefully I'll be able to get up and over this little sickness in time to prepare for our North Carolina trip. I'm staring at my schedule kind of in dismay because there is a lot going on this May. The dismay of May, look at that, it's like a little pun. But really, I'm really excited because this is going to be the busiest May and the busiest travel period of my life, pretty much. I've been traveling non-stop since November, which is not me, in case you guys didn't know. I am the reclusive hermit who likes to stay within her beautiful green den and not leave. But I've been traveling since November. We went for Thanksgiving for Chips's family's Thanksgiving, all vegan, which is really awesome. Went back to visit his family again in December. I went to visit my family in January, slash that was when my uncle unfortunately passed away and we had his funeral, and my mom had her heart attacks and I was out there. Talk about a way to start the year off. And then Chips and I dramatically took the 2017 year by both hands and told it, this is nonsense, you're gonna be a better year than this. And went to Hawaii for his spring break in February. Came back in March, then left again in April for my brother's wedding. So you can see where we really made some very concrete efforts to change things from the beginning of the year. And they're continuing to go on an upward swing, which is pretty exciting, but very busy. Because came back April, was visiting with my family in Missouri, in Kansas City, because of my brother's wedding. May, Chips decided, having finished the first year of his PhD program, he really wanted to do something kind of fun. He knew I was really stressed about how much time I have to work on the channel and the things that I need to do to prepare for Taiwan, so he scaled down his dream idea of going to the Virgin Islands, which I'm also looking at our budget going, what? So I think that was more him being playful, to doing some day trips around Michigan so that we could fall in love a little bit more with the state that is truly very quickly winning my heart over. I actually have a little Michigan necklace that I got while we were on our trips, and you guys will hopefully have seen, not be seeing, but have seen the vlogs of our travel pretty soon. I'm not sure, maybe I'll release this video today just so I can catch you guys up on what's happening right now and then work on the camping vlogs. I actually have lily pad. I meant to get the vlogs done so that we would be able to see, you know, the camping, mind you, was in hotel rooms because it was so cold. No one warned me Michigan's gonna be that freaking cold up north in like the early part of May. We're talking like 30s and 40s Fahrenheit, and I'm really glad I got a new coat just before we went, or else I would have completely passed away of the cold. I'm not very good when it gets really chilly. But yeah, we had a great camping trip, and so we did the camping trip locally, just like 5 hours, 6 hours to the north and to the west in Michigan. Saw 3 of the Great Lakes, which was pretty awesome. Like I said, you'll either learn about that or have learned about that with our camping vlogs coming out pretty soon. I'm actually leaning towards releasing this video today because there's a lot going on and I kind of want to keep you guys semi-updated on what's happening. And we're leaving for North Carolina in 3 days. So Friday morning, early, like probably 5 or 6 in the morning, probably 5:30, we're leaving for the airport. We're gonna drive Hampton, which is our car, Richard's car. We call him Hampton. He's really cute. He's red and he has a little Michigan sticker on the back that's in Chinese because Chips is a Chinese PhD student. Well, he's like a white American man, but he is studying Chinese at the University of Michigan. But yeah, we're gonna drive Hampton to the airport. We're going to park. We're going to fly to go visit his family in North Carolina. He really wanted to see his mom for Mother's Day. Maybe next year we'll flip it up a little bit and I might be able to see my mom for Mother's Day. But also it's a very interesting struggle within our family, and maybe this is some insight into the very personal aspect of my life. When his family is also vegan, and my family is decidedly very much not vegan. In fact, because of my mom's health issues, pretty much the only things she can eat right now are certain types of fruit, certain very small amount of vegetables. A lot of the vegetables are just not good with her, and then meat. So the only things my mom can really eat are like 3 very specific cut types of meat and fruit, and then some very specific probiotic based foods. And so my family's house always smells of meat, and it always has like meat in the whole area. And I thought that was a myth, that the longer you go vegan, the more meat smells really weird to you, but it really smells awful to me now. And I thought that was a complete myth. When the first year I was a vegan, I was like, nah, that fried chicken still smells pretty good, but I'm gonna choose not to eat it. And now it really smells like things I'm not gonna get into, but it's not cool. But it's really tricky on the super personal aspects of my life, because you don't realize how much nicer it is to go somewhere where there's going to be like this delicious home cooked vegan meal and you can sit down and enjoy it. And then the flip side of visiting my family is that, you know, it's just, and there's also not the space for us to visit there. So it's really hard, because you guys know how much I love my family, but I don't think that's exclusive to like vegan versus non-vegan family units. That's the struggle for any couple. Like, how do you balance visiting for the holidays? So this year I'm going to kind of gently soothe my guilt by sending my mom some really wonderful presents that I'm planning for Mother's Day, and then also letting her know I love her. And we're actually planning on hopefully being able to do a little vacation with her. One of her big health goals for this year is to continue working on certain physical therapy goals that she has, and I've been really encouraging her and telling her if she'll keep up her physical therapy and keep hitting certain milestones, then we'll go visit her. We'll take her and visit with her in Florida. She has some family friends that she's been friends with since she was much younger than I am now. I think early days of college, like her first year of college. She's still friends with some people who live out in Florida, who moved to Florida and live there, and they've offered to host her if she can hit those health goals so that she'll be safe enough to travel. As it is right now, her doctor does not want her out of the city, period, at all. She didn't even get to go see my brother get sealed at the temple because the doctor said, that's 2 hours away. That's too much of a risk. You could die. You can't leave. So that's where my mom is right now. So it may sound weird, like, that I'm not going to go visit her for Mother's Day, and it's very like, wow, I didn't expect to launch into this sort of like, I'm feeling a little conflicted, but I feel happy because I'm also with Chips. And again, that's not like, again, I kind of frame it in like the vegan versus non-vegan family unit visits, but that's not what it is. This is something I think any couple goes through when you're trying to figure out which direction to go. And Chips really loves his mom. I really love my mom. And what do you do when you have those units to balance? But I'm kind of consoling myself with the fact that we will hopefully be able to go with my mom to Florida and have this huge adventure with her. So I kind of have that planned in the future months. Around October, her birthday is on Halloween, so I think that we're kind of hoping that she's going to continue to work on these milestones, and I'm constantly sending her little treats and little fun things to try to motivate her. So I think that it's going to be okay. But yeah, I didn't expect to launch into that, but I guess it's a good segue for people who are kind of juggling that interpersonal decisions when you're in a relationship and you're both looking at each other going, our families live away, and which one do we pick to visit? But we have some visits with my family planned as well, so I just wanted to reassure everybody of that. Anyway, yeah, North Carolina trip, 3 days. I have this many this many videos to do. I think that's close to 40 or something like that. And we actually are going to hit the 5,000th public video. We're already over 5,000 videos uploaded to my main channel, but the 5,000th public video, so that it'll actually say on Social Blade 5,000 videos released, will probably go out today. So I need to make a special vlog about that, and I'm probably going to make a special vlog either on the main channel or here on the vlog channel talking about why I have that many videos, why I put out so many videos, because a lot of people see me work myself to the bone when it comes to like, I have this to do in 3 days and I'm gonna do my best. I, from experience, and especially because I have a very bad earache right now, know that I probably won't meet this quota, but I'm gonna do my best. And a lot of people are gonna be looking at me going, Siri, if you're a little sick and you only have 3 days, why are you working that hard on this? Why are you burning yourself to the ground over this? Why are you doing this when you still have to like clean? And I really have to talk to my birdie babysitter about how much to water my plants. I have to pick off some of the dead leaves on my plants. There's a lot going on. I have to pick out the special thing for my mom for Mother's Day. I'm trying to build the geckos new tank. I still have posters to order for our channel. I still need to make up some fun little mock business cards. I'm working on rebuilding a Patreon and trying to get that going, working on building up websites. There's so much to do, so why push yourself so hard for so many videos? And I'm gonna make an entire video, maybe even 2, so I can get into the light aspect of it on the main channel and the behind the scenes as a YouTuber aspect of it on the vlog channel. But the basic fact of the matter is that you would have to watch about, I did the math the other day, and at the current ad rate display, you'd have to watch about 800 of my videos to earn me $1. And that's at the current ad rates. If all ads displayed, I don't think I'm allowed to like talk about the details for some weird reason I don't understand. I just don't want to get in trouble about it because I don't know the clarification. But when I do the math, if all ads display, then you're super lucky because each ad earns you 0.0002 cents on a video. So that's why I have so many videos, because I love my mom and I need to pay for her in-home nursing care. I love my chips and I need to pay for our rent. I love being able to try to go on so many adventures while I still can. My health is wibbly. It is going to continue to get wibbly within the next who knows how many years. It may get very wibbly, or because I work very hard, even though it doesn't really show, on trying to at least monitor my fitness within what levels I can. And I eat a very healthy vegan diet for the most part, says the woman who just had some potato chips the other day. But you know what? Potato chips are actually vegan if you eat the right ones. I'm not perfect at it, but I take a lot more care. I take a lot of supplements and vitamins. I check in pretty often with my health, so fingers crossed my health will just stay the same, if not get better. But the basic point is I like to try to travel and to do things in the world, and that needs a little bit of oomph behind your finances to be able to do that. And I want to be able to do that while I still can, and I don't know when the line may be that I can't do that anymore. It may just come up out of the clear blue sky like it has for so many of my family members, for my mom, my grandmother, aunts, cousins, where they hit 30, 32, and all of a sudden their bodies just implode and their immune system begins eating themselves. That happens in my family, and I have some of the signatures that says it could happen. I've taken DNA test to try to give me some time frame for what I have to work with, and they are inconclusive because of my mixed race heritage, and because lupus and its surrounding paraphernalia of diseases aren't very well researched. So why do I make so many videos in that case? Because I may be working against time, and we'll talk a little bit about that here on the vlog channel because it's a little depressing, but it's serious. No pun intended. And it is why I do so much now, while I have the energy and the capability, in the hopes that I can wrap my arms around life and get the most out of it while I can. And also because who knows if that archive that I'm building of 5,000 going on, hopefully 10,000 is my goal before Chips graduates, will end up being my way of being able to contribute and take care of my family, even when my body forces me against my will to slow down. And I don't know if that could happen. Chips is very adamant that it won't. I think it's because he loves me and because that scares him to think about it. But I've seen it happen multiple times within my family. And so I try to be realistic about it. And that's one of the reasons that I am going, it's just a little earache this time. It's not the fact that I'm not like my mom, I'm not like some of my other family members, where I literally probably can't get out of the bed today. I'd be lucky if I might be able to open my eyes past a splitting migraine. That's the reality of their life. I know that one day could be me. I work very hard to try to make sure that doesn't happen, but I also work very hard because you also gain an appreciation for the fact you even can work hard when you've grown up, and that's the reality of what you've seen in your family and what you've glimpsed at what could be your future. So I got much more in depth there than I meant to. As you guys can tell, there's a lot bouncing around in my head. I am always thinking about those things, and every now and then I do get comments where people are frustrated or angry at me for making as many videos as I do, and all I can do is kind of go like, each view earns me 0.0002 cents, and I have a mom's in-house care to take care of, I have rent to pay, I have a family to support, and I have a life I truly want to live for as deeply, richly, and adamantly as I still can. And maybe that'll be forever. Until I'm 99, until I'm 110, maybe it'll be till I'm 32. Who knows? I don't. The DNA testing people didn't. And that's why I work so hard now, because I can, and why I make so much now, because I hope not to become a burden. If I do become sick when I'm older, then I'll be able to find some way to support myself, support my family. I am one of the healthiest and most successful family members in my family right now, and I am aware that I have a lot of responsibilities as the eldest daughter to do my best to help take care of my parents, even at my current age and their current ages. It's not their fault. The disability slammed them out of the blue in two very unique ways at pretty young ages for them, very young age for my mom. And that's why I make so many videos. That's why I'm sitting here taking a minute to kind of just unpack all of the chaos that's going on, think about the serious things that outline my life, but then also pack it in full of joy. So yes, there's the serious outlines for why I work so hard and why I do so much. Just hints and previews of things I'll talk about more in depth in the future, especially if you guys have some questions. I feel like a lot of people neglect to realize the complexity that goes on in motivating creators' lives. I feel like a lot of people neglect to think about how fear may very well be a motivator for some people who create. And there's different types of fear. There's different types of pressures, and we'll talk about those things a little, I think, because I know thinking about them out loud and sharing them helps me to be far more compassionate and far more aware of the struggles that other creators may be going through. I actually have 2 secret Patreons, one of which is going to hopefully one day perhaps contribute a little bit to our main channel and just make things a little bit less wibbly. My biggest goal for why I'm building a Patreon is to just make sure I can pay my mom's medical bills every month. That's kind of like my backup. If everything else goes to heck, then this I can use to take care of my mother. And I plan on, like, if it hits a certain amount, just taking that amount and putting it immediately in savings, so that I will have that secret savings that's 100% entirely for my parents, so that if something happens to my YouTube channel, I will have that to draw on for as long as I can to support them. And then anything extra is just kind of like, cool, now I can pay for the server stuff and pay for the website hosting, and who knows what beyond that. Maybe start donating to animal charities or doing really fun things like that, projects like that. But the other one is a secret patron with my real name to donate to people, to give to a bunch of creators that I like. And I have dog-eared, like, I think I dog-eared $20, $50 a month, depending on the plights that some of my favorite creators are going through, and I'll up and wiggle the amounts around. And I usually send a message. I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's like this month is just, my budget's over here, but I still love your work. It's very awkward when you have to go up and down on some of your favorite patrons. But I have a mark that like a budget that I earmarked every month, and I cut out a couple of things that I normally would do, like my Audible that I would listen to. I cut that out now, and I just switched to podcast because they're free, and I focus on those because it makes me feel really good when I see my creators struggling, knowing that I have something to offer them. So anyway, I don't know how I got here. There's a lot on my mind. There's a lot on my mind, and I have a lot to do, and that's probably why I'm rambling so much. But I'm gonna get to work. I'll probably release this vlog today, actually, just to kind of open the floor to a whole bunch of conversations that are going around in my head. There are the broad, heavy outlines of things that draw my life, that outline my life. But I want to reassure you guys that inside of it, even though this is a lot of work to do, it's also something that brings me a lot of joy, because I know it's going to bring a lot of other people a lot of joy. I love describing my job when I'm feeling really, really playful. And again, job as in I'm self-employed. Google is not my employer. I am just like a self-employed person who works through Google, just to clarify that, because when I say job, I mean the atmosphere I'm creating, the community we have built. So the videos are part of that, but so is the personality around the community that I'm trying so hard to create too. And I'm still just a baby at learning all of these things, and still changing and growing and developing and realigning myself with where I want to go every day. But I love it so much, and I wanted to reassure you guys about that too. Yes, it's a ton of work, and I'm gonna dive into it and do my best. But it's also work done with joy, because when I'm feeling playful, I like to describe my job as a joy artist. And I know it's going to bring people happiness. Some of the niche episodes may frustrate some people. Some people may not care about the fact that I really want to devote some time to Story of Seasons Trio of Towns today. Some people may really roll their eyes at the fact that I'm going to be trying out the special Horsehaven event going on. Some people could care less that I spent hours editing specimen spotlights to try to bring some real world glimpses of animals. But the whole part and parcel, when you put it all together, is something fantastically magical to me that I love so much. And that is what I try to offer up as our community, as the joy, the joy garden, the art of creating joy for people and inspiration for people, and creating curiosity, not just answering curious questions, but creating a aura of curiosity for people to bring into their lives. Unanswered questions that you present to people and leave them with feed their own curiosity, and I love that. It's not just learning, it's about finding ways to teach people to be curious, and I love that so much. So yes, there's some broad, heavy outlines and practical matters and schedule conflicts and all sorts of things that make up my life too. But I love what I do, and I love my life. And looking at the list, you could look at it two ways. I guess I'm just a very, very highly trained optimist, and I'll talk about the fact that my optimism is trained, not innate, one day too. In fact, I should probably write that down. But you know, I look at this and I'm just like, cool, so two Star Stable episodes are due. Or cool, yeah, I get to play a whole bunch of niche, who knows what may happen. Or, oh, awesome, I get to work on the Warrior Cats behind the scenes bonus pause episode, making people's cats. It'll be fun to see what their cats are this week. And looking at it that way, it just makes it seem even more exciting too. So I'm gonna stop rambling, because as you can tell, there's a lot going on, and I'm just and I'll let you guys go. Just some things to think about, some things to start some conversations that we can sit down and have much more focused conversations in the future. I am going to actually release this like before I get started on anything, because it'd be fun just to have this out there to start generating some conversation. And I will get back to you guys hopefully with some camping vlogs very, very soon. At this rate, you'll probably get the camping vlogs over the next few days, kind of released each day corresponding with what we were doing. And then the North Carolina trip will be from the 12th to the 16th. I say the 16th even though we're back on the 15th, because I'm probably going to need that time to recover from flying and traveling. But on the 15th, if everything goes to plan, I'm going to be feeding giraffes. I'm going to be feeding giraffes. That's going to be so awesome. Oh, and I also need to open up a whole bunch of the boxes that people have been sending me for the like snail mail videos, and I wanted to do them all on stream, and there's just no way, because I don't know when I'm going to have time to stream on top. Oh, and I have another dentist appointment. I forgot about that.